U.S. and Atlantic, new tropical systems awakening. First cold blast of the season approaching. Good day, dear viewers, and welcome to today's edition of U.S. and Atlantic weather news. We're honored to have you with us on this early October day, a day when the entire Atlantic basin, the Caribbean, and the mainland United States are all experiencing powerful atmospheric shifts, signaling the start of a new, more complex, and more unpredictable weather phase, from developing tropical systems offshore to low-pressure zones taking shape along the East Coast. All of it is painting one of the most dynamic meteorological pictures we've seen since the start of fall. Today's bulletin focuses on three main regions. First, the tropical disturbance designated Invest 95L, currently active in the central Atlantic, with a high probability of developing into Tropical Storm Jerry within the next 1 to 2 days. Second, a coastal low forming near the southeastern U.S., which could evolve into an early-season nor'easter, bringing strong winds, high surf, and multi-day rainfall along the Atlantic seaboard. Finally, we'll look at the Caribbean and U.S. long-range outlook over the next 7 to 10 days, as major atmospheric drivers shift toward a true seasonal transition. Invest 95L, soon to become Tropical Storm Jerry. The center of attention this morning is Invest 95L, the most organized disturbance currently on the Atlantic map. According to the latest update from the U.S. National Hurricane Center, NHC, the system is located in the Main Development Region, MDR, the zone stretching westward from the Cabo Verde Islands across the central Atlantic. High-resolution satellite imagery reveals a developing low-level rotation, with banding features wrapping around the center and deep convection flaring on the southwest and northwest quadrants, classic signs that the system is consolidating. Surface and low-level wind analyses indicate a nascent closed circulation at around the 850 hectopascals level, an early but critical stage where a tropical depression can form within hours. NHC now places the formation chance at 80% within 48 hours and 90% within 7 days, meaning Jerry is almost certain to form sooner than previously forecast. Environmental conditions are favorable. Sea surface temperatures near 30 degrees Celsius, 86 degrees Fahrenheit. High mid-level humidity, and moderate to low vertical wind shear. However, a thin layer of dry air to the north and northeast may temporarily disrupt convection as the storm organizes. Forecasters expect a pulsing development pattern, brief strengthening pauses, before more rapid intensification as the system crosses warmer central Atlantic waters. Model guidance from GFS, ECMWF, and ICON suggests a west to west-northwest track over the next 48 hours, followed by a gradual turn to the north as the subtropical ridge weakens. This means the Leeward Islands, Virgin Islands, and Puerto Rico are not in immediate danger, but residents should monitor updates in case of a slower or later turn. Ensemble projections indicate Jerry could reach strong tropical storm or near hurricane strength around 15 to 18 degrees north before recurving northeastward into higher shear. For now, the land threat within 5 days remains low, though October's high-energy environment can shift scenarios quickly. Developing coastal low, potential early-season nor'easter. Meanwhile, along the U.S. East Coast, another system may impact land much sooner. A sharp cold front from the Midwest is sliding southward, colliding with warm, moist Atlantic air near Georgia and the Carolinas, creating a zone of intense convergence. Upper-level westerlies are helping spawn a broad hybrid low, a mix of tropical and extratropical characteristics. Much like a nor'easter, forecasts for October 10 to 12 show the low could deepen to around 995 to 998 millibars, producing winds of 60 to 80 kilometers per hour, 35 to 50 miles per hour, along the coast, especially across North Carolina, South Carolina, and Virginia. Depending on how the northern high-pressure ridge moves, the system could either slide inland, bringing heavy rain and gusty winds to interior states, or remain just offshore as a classic, slow-moving nor'easter, hammering the coastline for several days. Either way, Charleston, Myrtle Beach, Wilmington, and the Outer Banks will feel significant impacts. Beyond strong winds, coastal erosion, tidal flooding, and storm surge are possible during peak tides. Rainfall totals may reach 80 to 150 millimeters, 3 to 6 inches, with localized flooding and scattered power outages. Coastal authorities are already advising residents to secure roofs, clear outdoor items, anchor boats, and avoid bridge travel during high winds. Some model runs, particularly ECMWF-12Z, show the system stalling offshore for 4 to 5 days, acting like a no-ice storm, with prolonged gales and large waves, comparable in impact to a Category 1 tropical storm. So, even without an official name, its effects could be serious. Caribbean outlook: the tropics re-energize. In the Caribbean, activity is beginning to revive after a quiet stretch. The Madden-Julian Oscillation, MJO, is shifting into its active, rising phase over the Western Hemisphere, enhancing convection, lowering shear, and increasing mid-level moisture. This pattern typically precedes new tropical formation in the Caribbean and Gulf of Mexico. Between October 13 to 16, forecast models highlight a large moisture plume stretching from Honduras through Jamaica and Cuba to the Yucatan Peninsula. A weak low or two could spin up in this corridor. While no defined center yet exists, sea surface temperatures are approximately equals 1 degree Celsius above average, providing ample fuel for rapid organization if a disturbance takes shape. Potential motion would generally be northwestward, meaning eventual movement toward the Gulf of Mexico or Central America. NHC urges Caribbean mariners and residents to follow daily updates. These pop-up systems can strengthen from weak lows to full tropical storms in less than 24 hours. Continental U.S. 10-day forecast overview. Across the mainland, a strong Canadian cold front is sweeping southward, interacting with a central U.S. trough to generate widespread rain. A rain band from Texas, Louisiana, Arkansas, Tennessee, Kentucky to Ohio could bring 50 to 100 millimeters, 2 to 4 inches, of rain, locally exceeding 120 millimeters, 5 inches, in parts of Kentucky and Tennessee. The Weather Prediction Center, WPC, highlights a 15% flash flood risk from Nashville to Charleston, WV, along with possible thunderstorms, gusty winds, and lightning in the evenings. In the Northeast, after weeks of dryness, Pennsylvania to Maine will finally see soaking rains within 24 hours, helping ease drought. Temperatures will plunge afterward, nighttime lows below 5 degrees Celsius, 41 degrees Fahrenheit, in Vermont and New Hampshire, clear evidence that winter is nearing. Southeast Florida, persistent southeast flow keeps daily showers and storms, especially across South Florida. Two-day rainfall totals of 100 to 120 millimeters, 4 to 5 inches, may cause street flooding in Miami, Naples, and Fort Lauderdale. Seas remain moderately rough. Boaters should exercise caution. West and Rockies. Afternoon thunderstorms are expected over New Mexico, Colorado, and Wyoming. High elevation areas above 2.500 meters, 8.200 feet, could see the first snowflakes of the season. The Pacific Northwest and California stay mostly dry and cooler, aiding agriculture and outdoor work, though Southern California still faces moderate wildfire risk from low humidity and weak offshore Santa Ana winds. Northern Plains and Midwest, the Canadian air mass is bringing brisk autumn cold. Temperatures in the Dakotas, Minnesota, Iowa, and Nebraska drop to 6 to 12 degrees Celsius, 43 to 54 degrees Fahrenheit, with overnight frost and light ice. Many areas have issued first freeze alerts, marking the transition toward late fall, golden leaves, misty mornings, and that unmistakable chill of the new season. Safety and preparedness. Given these evolving patterns, the National Weather Service advises Southeast coastal residents: monitor updates every 3 hours. Avoid piers and bridges during high winds. Prepare emergency plans for the weekend. Caribbean fishermen: avoid open waters October 12 to 16. Inspect vessels and safety gear. Midwest and Northeast residents. Clear drains and gutters to prevent flooding. Stay alert for heavy rain and gusty storms. Northern farmers and homeowners. Protect crops, livestock, and plumbing from early frost. Final outlook. In summary, this week's weather picture is vast, complex, and unmistakably transitional. The Atlantic remains far from quiet, with Tropical Storm Jerry likely forming soon. A coastal low could evolve into an impactful nor'easter, battering the east coast with strong winds and tides. Across the mainland, cold air surges south, bringing rain, storms, and the first hints of winter chill. No single extreme dominates, but together these systems demand heightened vigilance and preparedness. We'll continue closely monitoring Invest 95L and the coastal low. As soon as any upgrade or track change occurs, U.S. and Atlantic Weather News will issue a special update based on verified data from NHC, WPC, and NWS sources. Thank you for joining us today. We wish you and your family a safe and peaceful evening, wherever you are. See you again in our next program, with the latest updates on Storm Jerry, the coastal system, and early winter trends. Good night, and stay safe in every wind that blows.